What are the cities people are leaving Toronto for? As over the last few years, I've helped a lot of people relocate here around the Toronto area. And it's no surprise to me that people looking outside the province and outside the country are looking to move to these cities. However, what was surprising is the amount of messages I get from people looking to move from Toronto to one of these cities here. So in today's video, I thought I would break down the top 5 cities people are looking to leave Toronto for and move and usually start a family or expand their growing family. And the very first community happens to be Burlington, as Burlington is located on the corner of Lake Ontario with a population of just about 125,000 people. And the primary reasons people are absolutely love living in Burlington is one, because of the schools, because clients usually that are leaving Toronto are looking to start a family or have young kids already, and this city is absolutely perfect from it, from both the education standpoint but also from the safety, as it's a part of Halton, which is a very safe community. In fact, over the last 23 plus years, it's been rated as the safest region of more than 100,000 people for both violent and non-violent crime. And then the final reason is the amazing parks, because you do have Spencer Smith Park, which is an amazing waterfront park with a lot of events happening, from Rib Fest to Canada's Day to Sound of Music. But you'll also find Burlington Beach, which is an amazing beach to go and relax on. But then you also have the hiking trails from the Niagara Escarpment, where you can hike along the Mount Nemo ridgetop and enjoy some stunning views. However, with that said, Burlington is highly desirable and it comes with some cons. In particular is first the cost of living and affordability of real estate, as because Burlington has pretty much finished expanding out widthwise, as you can't go anymore east, west, south, or north, you're really gonna have detached homes as your primary option with not much more new inventory coming to the market, which increases the price. However, you will find some townhomes that are slightly below the $1 million mark, but all detached homes will pretty much be selling $1 million or more. And then as for condos, you will find some condo options to choose from that are a bit more affordable, but still not as many affordable options as, let's say, Toronto. Now, with that said, another disadvantage about living in Burlington when you're coming from Toronto is the lack of public transit. As if you're used to taking the TTC or the bus routes, oftentimes you are going to be more heavily reliant on the car when living in Burlington. Now, if you are looking to still drop into Toronto, good news is Burlington does have great GOES train options with 3 different stops located throughout Burlington that you can easily hop on and be in downtown Toronto using the public transit in about an hour. And then the last thing I'll note is there's not really much nightlife. There is a few great restaurants and bars to choose from, but if you are looking for that clubs, you aren't going to be finding any clubs or a massive festivals happening within Burlington here. Then another city I know a lot of my clients absolutely love moving to is Hamilton. And this is the second largest city just outside the GTA and has a population of just under 800,000 people and is about an hour and 10 drive away from Toronto. And some of the advantages about living in this city here is first, it's the waterfall capital of the world. And as a result, you're gonna have many different waterfalls to choose from. Some of my personal favorites you need to check out would be the Spencer's Gorge, which offers Webster Falls, Toos Falls, and Dundas Peak located within Dundas. But then you have the Devil's Punch Bowl that offers spectacular views of the city, as well as the bowl this waterfall sits in. As in total, you have over 150 plus different waterfalls in Hamilton you can hike to at the top or at the base to go and explore, with many different conservation areas and many different parks to choose from also located throughout Hamilton. But the second reason people absolutely love Hamilton is because of the food scene, as admittedly Toronto will just have more options as it is larger. However, Hamilton does offer, in my opinion, the second best food scene to Toronto, and it has a variety of different cuisines because of the diverse population that lives within Hamilton. Some of my favorites would happen to be Cowabunga Pizza, which is a perfectly crispy and thin, and it absolutely delivers everything you would want in a pizza. And actually, in fact, my friends that are from Toronto will literally come down to Hamilton just to eat this pizza with me. But another spot you need to check out when living in Hamilton has to be Merritt Brewery for their amazing sausages. I'd personally recommend the butter chicken one, as well as enjoy some local craft brewskis. And then the final one I'll quickly mention is the Memphis Firehouse Barbecue Company, which offers, in my opinion, the best barbecue within Hamilton and rivals any other top barbecue within Toronto. Then another pro about living in Hamilton has to be the real estate and the affordability it offers. As because Hamilton was a variety of different small towns, you're gonna have a variety of different unique communities to choose from, and most of these communities here are going to be more affordable than Toronto's communities. As first, you have Dundas, which is tucked into the Dundas Valley and close to many different nature trails and parks, and offers a lot of different homes that were either built in the early 1900s or homes that were built in the up to the early 2000s. Then you'll also find Ancaster, where you'll find a lot of custom luxury mansions with lots of privacy. Then in the downtown area of Hamilton, that's where you're going to find either those iconic 1900s red brick homes renovated top to bottom, already turned into a duplex and triplex, as well as the most amount of condo options to choose from. Then if you're looking to be just steps away from the central part but still want that more suburban lifestyle, I'd recommend checking out the Hamilton Mountain. Here you're going to find a lot of different wartime bungalows, as well as lots of builds between the 1960s all the way up to the early 2000s. And then if you're looking for those rural communities, we have lots of options located in Flamborough, in the Carlisle, the Millgrove communities that have that small town charm with just a short drive away from many different big box chain retail stores and everything Hamilton's large city has to offer you. And then finally, if you're looking for that new construction, Waterdown is a fantastic option with many different detached homes, townhomes, and condos to choose from. And the other advantage about living in Hamilton is the amazing healthcare, as like Toronto, Hamilton has some of the best healthcare within the province offering its residents. Now, some of the downsides about living in Hamilton is, number one, you have the manufacturing and steel plants located in Hamilton, so it's a little bit more of the industry area. You're gonna notice the heavier trucks, a lot more just like heavy industry. Now, thankfully, this is kind of only secluded off to the North Shore, kind of in the Hamilton Harbor. So if you are living in Waterdown, Ancaster, Stony Creek, you're not going to ever notice this industrial part. However, it is definitely a con when living in Hamilton. Then another con about Hamilton has to be the homeless population is growing. As like Toronto, this is something you're going to notice more and more the closer you get to the downtown area, closer you get to like the highway entrances, especially in the central part of Hamilton, as because the cost of living continues to rise in Hamilton, this population also continues to rise as a result of it. Then the final thing that definitely gets a bit confusing for new residents living within Hamilton definitely has to be the one-way roads, as in the central part of Hamilton, it can definitely be confusing if all of a sudden you're driving one way to get to a spot and then have to drive a completely route to get back. So something to keep in mind when you're moving to Hamilton. But if you're new here, my name is Matthew. I'm a local realtor, and this is my channel where I share everything about what it's like living in Hamilton and the surrounding cities. So if you are interested in making the move out of Toronto and relocating to Hamilton or one of the other cities we'll chat about today, send me and my team a message to book your free relocation consult call. Other than that, the next community you should consider is Oakville, as this is located a bit closer to Toronto than Burlington, right on the Lake Ontario, and borders Mississauga with a population just over 200,000 people and about a 50-minute drive away from Toronto. And similarly to Burlington, this is going to be a very similar pros and cons, as these schools are some of the highly rated schools in all of Canada located within Oakville that offer great opportunities for both elementary, public, and Catholic, as well as high schools to choose from, and even a few top-rated private schools also, like Appleby College, you can find within Oakville. But other than that, it's a very safe community, as like Burlington, it's a part of the Halton region, one of the safest communities to raise a family in, as well as you're going to find a few different waterfront parks and great downtown options available to you if you are looking to maintain that small town life but still want a lot of different local boutiques and stores to go stroll around while you're right beside the water. Then some cons associated with Oakville, definitely one has to be the affordability. This is probably the least affordable community to buy real estate in, as you're not going to really find any detached homes that are under like $1.4 million. Townhomes are all going to be basically over $1 million, unless you're looking at some condo townhomes. And a simple one-bed condo can easily run you $600,000 easily. So it definitely is a disadvantage. However, if it is within your budget, it's an absolute great community to go and live in. Then another con happens to be the shopping, as oftentimes I'm going to find the neighboring cities of Burlington offering 2 shopping malls, or Mississauga are just going to offer way more shopping options to choose from. However, with that said, you will find the Oakville place, which is the one mall located within in Oakville. Now, with that said, you'll still find your basic amenities all just a short drive away from any neighborhood you choose to live in. Then the final con about living here is definitely the entertainment and festivals, as Oakville is also not the best for this, as you're going to find a lot more festivals and events happening within Burlington or also Mississauga. So something to keep in mind when you're living here. Then the next community you might want to consider moving out of Toronto for would be Grimsby, Ontario, as Grimsby is located just on the other side of Lake Ontario, and on a clear day, you can definitely see the skylines of Toronto, of Mississauga, of Burlington. And this in total is about an hour and 20-minute drive to an hour and 40-minute drive away from Toronto. However, the population is extremely small, as it is like a small town with just at 28,000 people. And as a result, that is definitely going to be one of the first cons, is that small town and that sense of community Grimsby has to offer you. Because there aren't many high rises, and it tends to be the neighbors are friendlier within a smaller town, you're going to absolutely enjoy it if that's the type of atmosphere you and your family are looking for. Then another advantage about living in Grimsby is the great wineries you have close by. Because you are on the edge of the Niagara region, you're going to find endless options of wineries and vineyards to go visit on any given weekend, as in just a short drive, you can reach easily over 90 different wineries to choose from. And then my personal favorite reason why I absolutely love Grimsby is the wide variety of real estate options this small town has to offer you. As if you're looking for brand new condos, brand new townhomes right by the water, you have Grimsby on the lake. But if you're looking for those detached homes or those townhomes, whether those side splits or brand new 2 stories, you can find them in Dorchester and Nels Estates. And then if you're looking for some side splits, some back splits, you'll find a great opportunities to choose from on Grimsby on the lake, as well as close to the downtown core of Grimsby. So if you are interested in making a move to Grimsby or the other communities, send me and my team a message today to book your free relocation consult call, where we can dive in deeper and get really your questions answered and talk about what real estate best fits your needs. Now, with that said, some of the cons about living in Grimsby is, one, there's limited employment options to choose from. Because this is the smallest city on the list, you are most likely, if you're not working from home, which if you're working from home, it's great. You get a bare home for your office or a finished basement for your office. However, otherwise, you are probably going to commute a little bit extra when living in this community here. Number 2 is the traffic and public transit. First of all, there's no real public transit options available in Grimsby, so you're going to be heavily car dependent. And then as for traffic, this kind of goes hand in hand depending on where you're commuting. As if you're going to be commuting back to Toronto for work on a regular basis, you're going to run into 2 major bottlenecks, one in Burlington and then also one in Oakville, Mississauga border, is where you're going to see it backed up, and it can really add an extra 20 to 40 minutes of commute time to your daily routine. And then the final con is the shopping options available, as you will find one major shopping plaza in the middle of this community here. However, compared to all the other cities we've chatted about on this list here, it's definitely going to have the least amount of amenities to choose from. And then the next community, which I find is perfect for any first-time home buyers looking to buy their first townhome or detached home, is Brantford. Now, this is the furthest away from Toronto, as it's about an hour and 30 minutes to 2-hour drive, depending on the traffic, and it has a population of just over 100,000 people. But why I know so many of my clients absolutely love the option of Brantford is because it is the most affordable city to buy real estate in, that is still just a short drive away from Toronto and the greater Toronto area. So if you are looking to get into the market for the first time, or are just looking for a bit more of an affordable option, this is a great city to choose. Other than that, you'll also find it being very business friendly, as recently Brantford over the last few years has been rated one of the best locations in Canada to grow and build your business in, because of the expanding population due to its affordability and its proximity to the GTA. Then one of the cons about living in Brantford definitely happens to be the homeless population, as again, like Hamilton, like downtown Toronto, because Brantford's a little bit smaller, you're probably going to notice it a bit more as you're going to be driving through the downtown area, especially if you're living in that area. You're going to notice a bit higher population of the homeless living here. And then also you'll have the Grand River running throughout about Brantford, which offers some great parks to enjoy, but it also offers some risk if you choose the wrong neighborhood, because then you could be in the floodplain. So if you want to make sure you choose the right neighborhood in Brantford to avoid this floodplain, or just the right neighborhood in the other cities we chatted about today, send me and my team a message to book your free relocation consult call. But if you're still looking for that city lifestyle, what's a bit more affordable, the next video I recommend you go take a look at is everything you need to know about moving to Hamilton. So you can find my video going over that right here. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.